Hello, everyone, and welcome to ROKStudios. I'm Stan Miller. I'm PR and Analyst Relations Manager for Rockwell Automation in the EMEA region. And I'm joined today by Ashkan Ashouriha. He is Senior Enterprise Solution Architect for Rockwell. Ashkan, welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me here. Thank you.
So, Ashkan, today we're here to talk about going from automation to autonomy and how that connects to the future of industrial operations. It's a great topic, so let's just jump right in. First question for you. What does it mean to shift from automation to autonomy in production processes? And in your perspective, what industries are best suited for this transition?
First of all, I'm an automation expert and not the autonomous expert because nobody is, right? There is a journey for everybody, for all the customers, for ourselves, for all the techies. So when you're hitting some kind of a limitations around automation, because automation works like whatever I knew today, I'm programming all the different variances, and it is then going. But what happens if there are anomalies, something happen and have to be adopted maybe automatically on its own, autonomous. So that's where it starts, right? So that's where it starts, where we're thinking about what can we do to help our customers to be more adaptive in their production process. That's where it starts, right? And you know, always sky is the limit, right? So you can go deep into that. But so you asked about the industry. I wouldn't say this is an industry-specific thing, means it is automotive or food and bev or whatever. No, it is more the segment in the industry itself, right? Give an example. For logistics, transportation logistics, that's where we see you can really achieve it today. Why I'm saying that? The end-to-end solution means raw material in to your production and the final product packed in a box, in a truck, leaving, for example. Having that 100% autonomous is very, very complex. And you need something like a big hypervisor software to manage everything. And you know, that's where it typically happens, IT, OT, and you have to manage this, manage that. Nobody has this solution today. Everybody's working on that, we are. But having this is more the visionary part. But what you could achieve, again, is looking into logistics, what I can do today when I desperately need those capabilities to be adaptive, right, in my process.
Interesting. So kind of taking advantage of those opportunities to find flexibility in that logistics piece that you're talking about, where agility would be key. Excellent. Ashkan, how do autonomous operations fit into the broader concept of smart manufacturing?
Like, we are talking or listening, reading since, I would say, over a decade, 1.5 decades, about smart manufacturing, Industry 4.0, and so on. And for all the engineers around the globe, whatever they're doing, this is like a promise, right? The Holy Grail, it is coming. But the majority of the technologies behind it that you would need to be there are visionary or was. And some of them were, I would call it, fundamental to the infrastructure of smart manufacturing, independent from the size of your plant, machine, whatever that is. So we had to wait for technologies that is allowing us, and even mindset change, to be very honest, to run topics like robotics, autonomous robotics, so things like AMR, cobots, that in this ecosystem, right? And that's where, regarding to what I said before, to logistics, where it fits in. So you can leverage everything around that, connectivity, cybersecurity, and connectivity, by the way, is not between just, is it a cable? It is even connection between two departments of a production. All those kind of things that are helping to do this digital transformation are building the foundation for that next small step into the journey of getting autonomous.
It's an interesting kind of picture you paint, kind of combining that concept of AMRs and cobots and that kind of an evolved technology. That's really interesting, Ashkan. Well, let me ask you this. For companies already using automation, how can they begin implementing this autonomous production process concept that we're talking about and take what they're doing to the next level?
Now, first of all, going today full autonomous, visionary-wise, is this something everybody needs? No. Right? So, because as usual, you have to invest, and probably somebody is expecting return of invest. So, who needs autonomous? Again, looking into the different phases of a production, different sizes, different industries. First of all, you have to have a big production with high volume, but high flexibility, and maybe fast product changes as well, right? So that's where we are hitting the critical mass, as I said at the beginning, where you would really benefit from adoption, autonomous adoption from assets, self-learning, but you don't see that because that's hidden under the radar, right? So this is underneath. You have to understand it. And when it gets so complex to automate, it costs you thousands of hours to do try and error and to engineer it. How about having very smart robotics equipped with AI that are doing that on their own? Adoption. Something happened, or there's a variant, they're adopting on their own. So they know self-learning, self-adaptive, that's where it's coming from. So if you have the opportunity to be in this situation, you should start. You definitely should start because there is a learning process behind it, what you can do. And how to bring automation on this journey, say, hey, we're going down that path, we are doing the integration of it, because it has to be scalable. The majority of the solutions are like, here it is, it works, under a bubble. But the industry likes to scale up. So scalability is the hidden driver between so many decisions, and decisions saying, hey, we're stopping here because we can't scale it up, right? Imagine you have a small line, you're doing something there, but it is impossible to scale it up. You're going back to zero, start, okay, what we did wrong.
Interesting. So scalability is key. Makes perfect sense, Ashkan. This is great discussion, and it's always a treat interviewing on these topics because some of these things that you're talking about, I mean, were just in our imagination decades ago. To see where the industry is going and what you can share with us is really just fascinating. So thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about industrial automation and digital transformation, visit rockwellautomation.com.